the same house, but yet still they turn out differently.
Yeah, of course that happens. I mean, everybody has their own personality. As a matter of fact, a light bulb moment here.
And there are
I
various reasons for that.
I know
Uh-huh.
of two persons who grew up in the same household and they're totally different. Totally different. They grew up under the same teachings or being they were brought up by the same grandparent,
Yes, yes.
but they are totally different. So you're right, it can happen. It does happen.
And there are various reasons for that too. You know,
I
but
can't
one of the
figure it out.
arguments, as they say, is, in terms of the free will
Yeah.
and the individuality of the persons,
Yes.
have to do with that's the kind of one of the pointers that they would put forward
Yes.
too. You understand? But then you also have one of the other arguments would be the independent choices. Now they say parents can guide and teach, how much they want, right? But it's entirely up to a child.
Correct.
You see, and to some extent it's true. But I mean, how much do you think? Because in the Bible it says, in the good book it says that you train a child up, not sparing spare the rod and you spoil the child.
Yeah, correct.
And then there's the old saying, train a child up in the ways that, I can't remember the exact thing, but in other words, train them up in the ways of the Lord and, whatever, and they will hardly ever depart. So how many bearings what kind of bearing, how much you think that the parental or household, the values that the parents has and the family input will have in terms of how a child really turned out to turn it. Because there are various issues there also.
Each individual person would have their own mindset, so whether they receive the training or not. But the training would be, okay, I guess you can look at it from the perspective of the parent, where it would be on the parent to ensure that they maintain that, how do I put it, law and order, so to speak, and ensure that the child, understands the values that are being taught and sort of keeps them in line.
Because there's also the other view that
Culture and harden. That's the next thing, right?
and I grew up with people like that. I'll give you some examples. There's also the other view that parents cannot see the internal the thoughts. They cannot tell a child mind. The thoughts of a child. You understand? So they can do all they want, but at the end of the day,
Correct.
right, they cannot read the thoughts and whatever of an individual child. You see? Now there are various reasons put forward there. There's the counter argument to that in terms of the environment. The environment plays a very important part in how to train a child, for example. In terms of, let me say, like the drug lords, that kind of thing. Sometimes according to the environment that you live in, a lot of the hotspots. And I could give you one or two examples, without, of course, I won't call names, but speaking in a general sense. Right? And you wouldn't believe, just the other day, just about 3 days ago, a very good friend of mine, although he had moved out long time, but we know each other from a long time. We used to live Carnage too as well.
Right.
And we were talking about certain individuals that we know, for example, a certain individual, we know that he grew up under strict parent for his grandmother. And he was one of the guys, he used to have to go and bless his toys. She was a strong church woman. She ain't making joke with that. So he grew up under a religious background. And then he turned out to be a gunman and a drug man.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, we talk about this all the time, Corporal, he mentions this, all the time. It really is a battle because, children, let's say when they become teenagers, and they start to mingle and with certain elements in the community, if you're not on the ball with them, you could lose them to the streets.
Because
the
the environment. The environment.
To draft them in.
Right. And I remember, for example, I don't know, probably if you might be, you're old enough. Back in my time, you had like the Panther gang and the Kiss gang.
Yes.
Those were, they belong before the Young and Restless. Say talking about like 1981, 82, all those years, right? You're the Panther gang and the Kiss gang.
Right.
And sometimes parents home and they doing their best with their children. And they don't know what their children doing, you know. But when they came in, I thought current, all had some problem with the lights. Yes, right. And I remember sometime I started to intervene too. You know, that time was my leg that didn't get damaged yet. But I would have had to intervene. Because sometimes, you know, you have to throw your eye on the younger ones, although that kind of person.
Yeah.
You throw your eye on the younger ones. And when you realize that the younger ones gravitating towards, because, you know, they want a sense of belonging. So sometimes all the flashiness, sometimes these guys and they will have they pose up. You know, they usually come around lunchtime or the end of school. The gang members.
Right.
And they have all the fancy hairstyle. I don't know if you remember those guys with the AC/DC jerseys.
Yes.
I don't know if you might be too young or if you might be old enough.
I recall.
You remember those jerseys?
I do.
The neighbor breakers? With the jersey reaching up until your belly button.
Yes.
And white sleeve and black Sabbath and all these kind of things. And they'll have the chains and the iron ball and the spike bands and all these kind of things. And sometimes children have a way, people in general have a sense that they want to belong. You see? The sense of belonging.
Correct.
And sometimes, you know, the immature minds, because remember children, you know, not all children, but a lot of them could be easily influenced, right? Because, I mean, give it, right? A lot of them, because of their age, you know, they're still forming their personality. They're still going into who they should be or who, hopefully, the parents want them to be. And because of that, you know, they'll be open to various influences in society.
Correct.
And, you know, as we mentioned just now, you know, they're more easily likely to be influenced by the coke pushers, the weed pushers. For example, I remember there was a guy by me, came to do some work, a HTC guy. And I remember he telling me, he said, Roland, you know, every day I leave in $20 on top of my fridge. And for about 3 weeks, he thought his son was going to school. And his son wasn't going to school. You know. He said, you know, when word reached him, and he went into school, he said the teacher was only turning pages. You know, because he thinking his son going to school all for this 3 weeks, almost a month.
Yeah.
And it's only pages, absent.
Wow.
For about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And when he decided now to take a turn in his son's tail in front of the teacher and find out which part you were,
Right.
his son was going somewhere down in Bagatelle or Diamond Vale, or not Diamond Vale, Blue Base, no, somewhere there, smoking weed.
Yes.
And that's why I always tell parents to.
How old was he? Like what kind of?
Yeah, he was going junior sec.
Okay.
So at the time he would have been probably about 13 for the most.
Young teens. Oh.
Yeah, because usually by the time 14 plus, he'll be out as junior sec. So he was going junior sec at the time. So it means he would be about 13 and they were between 13 going on 14. Well, and that's just an example, and I always tell parents, good? Because parents too kind of lazy, you know. Right? I'm a person like to talk my mind. Because I always tell parents, good, part of proper parenting, it makes sure every now and then you drop out. Because after all, it's your children.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Don't expect somebody else to monitor your children or your child. Good? And parents have a way they like to tell children when they're passing in school, which to me is a no-no. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Right? Because if your child involved in something, especially for the male child, whether it's gangster activity or whatever the case might be, and you tell that child that you're coming in school, obviously that child will make sure he's in class.
Yeah. You know, you give them the heads up.
Of course, you see. So I always tell children, parents, at least every now and then, something you tell them now and then, you know, but then every now and then you drop in, you pass by.
Correct.
So they will always try to make sure that they're in class. Because they never know when mommy or daddy
That's right.
passing by.
But pop in.
Exactly.
Let's take a little break, Roland.
All right, we'll come back after this.
Stay tuned.
Roll it out, hey! Take with, the UTC invested all in.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket Front with Officer Sharbodie. Go Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart. Drive Home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the number one talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today. Exclusively on TTT.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket Front with Officer Sharbodie. Go Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart. Drive Home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the number one talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today. Exclusively on TTT.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket Front with Officer Sharbodie. Go Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart. Drive Home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the number one talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a
What do I see? I see footprints that man have left on the sand while walking through times. I see fruits of our ambitions, figments of our imaginations, and I ask myself, when will it end? When will it end? It is plain to see, universally this land is not bountiful as it was, simply because in his quest for success, nothing stands in man's way. All rivers run dry, soon the birds will fly, the mountains will be no longer high. And when I really think of it, I just wonder why, oh why. I see charity deplored, equal rights totally ignored, wisdom and ingenuity working in accord, simply to afford such inventions as thermonuclear warfare and environmental warfare. And I wonder now, where do we go from here? Prophets everywhere gaze upon the horizon and declare that judgment will come as the savage hands of unscrupulous men file everything pass by. Time is running out as we eat and drink, species at the brink of being extinct. And I think no one can deny that the price of progress is high, real high. I see consciousness as great as today we live recklessly. Money make egos inflate and thereby create a turbulent state. I see a struggle between the sexes, new hang-ups and old complexes. Now the question is, right in context, what shall be next? I've already seen this world have come divided between race, color, creed, and class. And some of the things the scripture predict truthfully come to pass. Soil that wouldn't bear children, making children to be a part of this growing mass. And I ask, if this is progress, how long will it last?
Yep, we continue progress. What a great song indeed, and very relevant to the topic as well there, Roland.
Yeah, man. Good afternoon, everybody. And for those who are now joining us, just remember that Corporal Sharbodie, he's on some holidays, well, not necessarily holidays, but vacation. He's out of the country, so I'm just sitting in for him for a period of time, for that same period. Now we're discussing, the influence that parents can have on their children in terms of the values that they set in their household, and how that could impact the mindset of the individuals, right? The children, that is. Now, there's an old saying, for those of you who are now joining us, that you make their children and you don't make their mind.
Yes.
And that is the theme that we're going with this afternoon. Now, do you know that, after doing some research, they say that genetics also can have something to do with it? You ever thought about that?
Okay, explain what you mean, though.
Yeah, with genetics, but they say a different mix of genes from both parents inborn could cause that.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. Yep, that's right.
Because a lot of people never really thought about that, genetically, that children could be genetically inclined to behave in a certain way.
Yeah, I see that being possible.
Because the same way a child could come out looking like you. Sometimes certain traits of a child. So sometimes if a parent was a very hardened person when they were young, or very miserable when they were young, though when they end up getting adults, when they end up turning into adults, etc., they can end up being nice adults,
True.
But when they were young, they were miserable.
Yeah, that gene pool. Okay.
So have you ever heard people say, "Oh God, boy, You're just when your father was young.
Yeah.
You told her just like your father, you know, boy.
Right. Well, yeah,
You're
yeah.
miserable, you know, boy.
Understand what you mean.
You're miserable. You know? Oh boy, you know that kind of thing. You know, so they say that, you know, each child is born with a unique baseline for mood and sensibility. So there's a baseline when they're talking about genetics, right? Based on my research as far as that is concerned, they're saying there's a baseline that each child is born with. Sorry.
Okay, so we're going scientific now.
Yeah.
We
And
have
then
to.
another important factor that they see in terms of different parenting and family dynamics, right? So according to the parenting and the family dynamics in the house,
Right.
could also determine how a child could turn out differently. So sometimes you have 9 children, you have 5 children, 6 children in the house, and you know all of them in the house as far as in the house is concerned, they were brought up with the same value system. But at least one or two, even though one cell chances are, might turn out totally different from the others. And then you're wondering why. So one of the factors that we just discussed could have to do with genetics. The other one too, a very important one people tend to overlook. You ever thought about the order, the birth order of the children?
Okay. No. I'm eager to find out how is that, you know,
Yeah, well, you know,
an
based.
affecting factor.
Yeah, but after doing my research on that topic, you know, come up with something. It's very important to see, according to, you know, right, let's say like you have about 8 children in the house, 7 children in the house.
Yeah.
Sometimes the one who born first, the firstborn, sometimes the parents, you know, you ever heard the people say, well, he turned out to be the favorite one because he was the firstborn.
Okay.
So sometimes now they might lavish more love. You know, the parents may not see it, but the other children may see it.
Right.
Although that may not always be the case, huh?
Yeah, no, and that could.
Because I the firstborn, and oh God, boy, I love boy, no. That the firstborn, I'm the first child, you
It's
know.
like playing on them mentally, I guess.
You see? And then sometimes now, if you're born in the middle, so sometimes you're born, let's say you have 6, 7 children, and you're about the 4th to 5th one. Sometimes you might be the one probably might have been taken advantage of by the others. So sometimes, you know, you could turn out to a more aggressive mindset.
Right.
You understand how the
Yeah, I do,
birth
actually.
order of children is concerned?
I do.
Good. Now you may be the last one, and I know that in case of a family that I'm very good with,
Yes.
the last child, he's treated like the baby by all the others and all the other brothers and sisters, because all the others and brothers and sisters, they are grown adults. You see, so he can like the baby in the group. He's now finished taking common entrance. So everybody now treating like, you know, hey, I'm a kid brother, like they call it. So you see, so all these various birth order and that kind of thing, parents don't think about that, but all these things could impact the kind of psychology a child comes out with.
Right.
You see, so birth order is how they call it thing. And then too, on top of that now, they also have a shifting circumstances, right? And shifting circumstances means, right, sometimes the parent, the house, the dynamics of the house can change based on sometimes the family mash up, mother separate,
Okay.
father separate.
Oh, there are so many different factors.
There are so many different
You're
factors
right.
that sometimes parents don't really think about that will impact how a child, sometimes a child acting out. They turn out with a kind of aggressive mentality. And sometimes the aggressive mentality has to do with mother and father come and separate.
Yeah. Noted on that one.
That happens very often.
Oh yeah.
You see, and there is something tend to be overlooked, right? Sometimes children tend to become withdrawn, and with that withdrawn, now you don't know what that child thinking. You see, and something within that void now, something now that could open the child now to outside influences.
Yeah.
We talk about the drug lords and all of them. Good. Because
they
them
want to
now,
rebel and then
yes,
get
because they will
put
come
in the
now
wrong hands,
and start to pose as the brother. and how they call it. And you know, in that kind of emotional discomfort, you know, you have that emotional void, and that emotional void now can be filled unknowing to your parents or unknowing to the members of the community, because you know community plays a very big role to her. I mean, thank God with the kind of community that I grew up with. You know, you are the people who will look out for you. If you do something bad or they see a strain, at least they'll come to your parents and say, hey, you know, I see your son going down a bad road, you know. I see your daughter going down a bad road. Mm-hmm. You know, you need to. I mean, in today's world and today's society, sadly, that is lacking badly. And that's one of the reasons for the increase in crime too. Because Corporal Sharbodie is always here, and he's always talking about the crime and the crime rate, and you know, various ways of trying to solve that.
Yep.
You see, but all of that too is what will lead to an increase in crime, because over the many years, right? If you have noticed, and I'm sure many people have noticed that, we in Trinidad and Tobago, we have become more Americanized, so to speak, in terms of how we behave and in terms of how we operate. And by that I mean to say that, you know, we have become more kind of like lovers of ourselves, so to speak, to use the terminology from the Bible.
Yes.
Men will come, as time progresses, men will become lovers of themselves. And you've seen it. That way, you know, I just care about me and my family. So you're not really looking at the other members of society. You're not looking out for your neighbors.
Correct.
You're not looking out for the neighbor down the road. As long as you good, you're driving a nice car, you're driving a nice house. You know what I mean?
You're driving a nice house.
Sorry. You have your nice house, sorry. You have your nice house. But you're driving a nice car. You know, because you know human beings have become more materialistic. And there's no denying that. There's no denying that. In Trinidad and Tobago, right here, everybody's about what I have and how much I could get.
Correct.
Long time now, people used to be poor and they're happy. They're contented. Right? Because, you know, they used to always tell you something not so much of what you have, right, but what you can make of it. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people, I mean, say, I always thankful for the people I grew up among. Some of the poorest people I know. I remember a long time I used to have a woman by the name of Mai. She used to live right next to the gas station. And if I tell people, these are some of the nicest people I knew. You know? And they weren't rich. They didn't have no nice car or nothing. Right? The woman, she was of Carib ancestry.
Okay.
And the husband, he was East Indian ancestry. I know the long time Indian people used to build their house. The wooden kind of house and the hammock and all these kind of things.
Right.
And the people I know had dirt ovens. The place I know dirt oven, you know. These are the people, and they bought all my sister and them ears. And they weren't rich, okay, but they were very happy.
Yeah. I know people like that as well, you know, humble and
when you go by them, hold on.
Honest.
When you go by them,
yeah.
You remember what they call it? Coquille broom?
I do.
Coquille broom. Yeah. And they sweep in the yard. When you go by them, the yard clean. No big house. No big fancy thing.
But you're content, you live, you know, within your means, and you still live good.
And they were some of the happiest people I know.
Yeah.
You see? It's not like now everybody gimme, and everybody grabbing.
And they're still not happy.
And you're still unhappy. You're committing suicide.
Yeah.
Because some of the people who committing suicide, remember the man down by Westmoreland for example?
Yes.
The big CEO of so much of companies, and a shocker for many people. You have all the money in the world, right? All the connection in the world, and you still commit suicide. You see? And at the end of the day, yes, and you always see, again we go back to the old adage that people will say that, all they say, don't envy people for what they have. Because you don't know how to get it.
Right.
And sometimes these are the things these are the values that you need to instill in your children from small. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these are the what they call it. So these are some of the factors that we mentioned in terms of genetics. Not trying to stray too much, but genetics were some of the other factors that we mentioned.
That was actually a really good one, boy. I didn't even stop to consider that. It's so true. You mentioned like a broken home as well, because that can happen too. Siblings in order of birth, the firstborn might be the one that they love, and the others
Birth order, the order of birth.
And that will alter their thinking.
And I know people have told me that. I don't know, but I sure people have told you that already. According to the position in the family, they felt a certain way. You understand? Whether they felt that they were the one had to wash all the wares because they were last in the family, everybody bigger than them, everybody going out, or what the case might be, or the first one, he felt he was the first one because you're the first one in the order of the birth. He felt everybody else supposed to do all the housework because he the bigger one, he the one calling the shots. And certain people now in society, the brothers and them now, in any family will grow up with a certain kind of order, a certain kind of mindset now, against the other. Sometimes brothers can hate you, I know it happening within my family.
Of course.
Like I remember, for example, I have a bigger brother. And I remember I had to tell him, I said, no, I said, it was never so. And he carried that in his mind for years. And when he told me, he said, Roland.
That's the one that I met the other day?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah. He's one of the best brothers in the world.
Yeah,
he's the Rasta man.
Yeah.
He has been with me from ever since, 43 years. And by my side, 43 years, I always say the best brother in the world.
He's just no cool one?
Of course.
Right.
The one everybody know down by the Broadwalk. Okay. Selling snow cone.
All right, now, Carnage.
Yeah, everybody know him. Shagaramas.
Gotcha.
I mean, where did he used to work on CDA for many years, But when he used to go to work like 4 in the morning, and he knock off like about 11 in the morning.
Right.
Good. So instead of wasting the day, you'll go and sell snow cone to make up the rest of the day.
At all.
Of course, more money. You see? Yeah, but another brother of mine, but the family dynamics.
Right.
And when he said to me, he said, and I after many years, all of us have grown adults. And he said to me, Roland, we used to do things and he get licks for it.
Right.
Good? And he grew up with that kind of hatred, of silent hatred. You see?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I tell you, against me, a silent hatred against me.
Yeah.
Because the other brother again.
And he told you that eventually?
After many years,
So you see, you really don't know what's going through the mind.
But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. You see? And even after my injury, I observed that, I never used to see him. And not knowing sometimes your own brother hating you,
Yeah.
You see? And I tell him, I said, no, that would never so.
That's almost like Cain and Abel way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it goes
exactly.
way back there.
Because many times I said in my mind, I said, well, no, but I said, but like my own brother could have killed me. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you never know, based on the order, how things go in our family. Correct. He the one just before me. And sometimes based on how, as I said, birth order could affect that, right? Also, we mentioned too, just to wrap up with the various factors that can impact children. We mentioned changing circumstances. Mother and father breaking up. Good. Sometimes you end up with a different husband, a different how they call it. Sometimes now that husband or that mother, stepmother, because that child is not theirs, they will tend to treat that child differently. All these things impact on how children turn out. What kind of adults they can be later on in life.
Yep, right.
Because I'm sure you have heard some people say, well, I grew up and my stepmother never liked me. Or sometimes, she, the father or the mother, bringing their own children into the family. So let's say my father, for example,
so
have 2 or 3 children. And he picks up a woman. And the woman come with her 2 or 3 children. So the whole different dynamics in the family. Right. Good? And she now I'm not saying that that's always the case. Sometimes the opposite could be totally true. But many people know that that has been the case. Sometimes she know her 2 children, or vice versa, the man 2 children, they showing preferential treatment. Although to them they're not doing that. But the children will pick it up. And the children now, they have a lot of things to say, but they will not say it within the family because they don't want to cause any bacchanal. Or sometimes their own father or their own mother, who is the other half of the family, they're blind to what's taking place.
Yeah.
Because they're so in love with the mother, or they're so in love with the father, that they're not seeing that even though the child complains. So sometimes the child now become a prisoner in their own home.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these things are serious dynamics
I know.
and serious factors when you're talking about a family and the bearing it could have on the psychology of a child.
Correct.
Or children in general. So these are some of the things that we have to talk that impact on how children turn out in the future. Now you have to look at 2 things. Another factor too had to do with siblings often being conscious or unconscious, how they adopt certain traits now. Now, some children, right, as one of the last factors we can discuss here, some children, their psychology, if that they totally out to rebel, so that is their own, it have nothing to do with the values. They just want to be different. They just make up their mind that, listen to me, mommy and daddy out for I to be so and so, and I don't want to be so and so. You see? So that is totally on the child or the children. I'm sure many people listening, right? They did all they can. So that totally not any parents. They have no other factors impacting them. It's just that they make up their mind to be totally antisocial. They make up their mind to be opposite to all the values that they're being taught. So you see, sometimes family is that totally could be very complex.
Yes, indeed.
If never really one factor.
I'm glad that you brought that up, Roland. It's really an eye opener, and I'm sure that those listening would take note and maybe be a little more sensitive to what the possibilities might be. With their youngsters.
And they have to open their eyes. They have to open their eyes to that. They have
It's
to really.
good
They really have to open their eyes to those things, right? Because sometimes you as a parent, sometimes you feel you know all, because sometimes being as an adult, we tend to feel that we know all.
Correct.
I the adult in the house, I the father in the house, and they do what I say.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Good. But sometimes you need to listen to your children too.
Correct. Yeah.
You see?
Good
And
stuff.
sometimes you need to have that kind of openness now. Never tell to make your children afraid of you. And that is a very important factor. You see? Because when your child is afraid of you, you have to make sure, be a parent and a friend, but not necessarily a friend by itself. Because see, there are some parents, they tend to want to be a friend, but a friend is not a parent. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Roland, thank you very much for that. And
Yeah,
once
of
again,
course.
big
Right.
love to
So
Corporal who's listening right now. And
Yeah, well, Corporal Sharbodie, you're listening. I hope I did that job. Your shoes are very big shoes too. A big guy,
Yes,
You understand what I say? But apart from being a big guy, I know your shoes are very big shoes to fill. But everybody, this is Roland Stewart signing off on behalf of Corporal Sharbodie. Do have a beautiful afternoon. Don't go anywhere because my program is coming up right after this.
Hey Michael, how you going? I ain't seen you these days.
I know, things get a little bit busy these days. Ever since I signed up for the small business package from TTT Radio Network, business really picking up.
Small business package? What's that?
It's an advertising package designed especially for small businesses. They work with your budget now, and help you reach more customers. I made one phone call and they handle everything.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket Front with Officer Sharbodie. Go Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart. Drive Home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health, and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today. Exclusively on TTT.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket Front with Officer Sharbodie. Go Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart. Drive Home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health, and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today. Exclusively on TTT.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Sharbodie. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health, and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today. Exclusively on TTT.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Sharbodie. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health, and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today. Exclusively on TTT.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's